Hello everyone and welcome to the Total War official channel. I am your host today and commentator, the one and only Mr. Dogbert. I'm going to be joined by three devs and a king.
Be a dev if you want.
not a dev today, mate. But today we're going to be showcasing something special on the CS Civil War. This is our fourth one, and we are on the campaign stretch now for Warhammer 2 release, which is on the 28th of September. So we're going to show some multiplayer for Warhammer 2, and we thought to do something special we'd bring in some interesting guests. So we're going to have some of the devs here who are probably going to be able to put on quite a bit of a masterpiece of battle and strategy.
God, no pressure,
and
James.
Michael, and he'll be here to get whipped, basically. Oh, we never know. You did manage to win the last one. This is why you're here. You are the retaining champion.
I am the current king of the stream. For anyone who hasn't watched Civil War before, I am the current reigning champion. I don't know how it happened, but it did, and here we are.
We still don't know how it happened in that last one. It was very interesting. Basically,
Tom got wrecked. That's how it happened.
And Darren and everyone else and Guy, obviously Guy getting wrecked is almost a weekly occurrence within the studio. So yeah, today we're going to be playing Total Warhammer 2. We're going to be playing all of the 4 races. So let's introduce everyone. So I'm going to be joined by Magic Mitch over here. So tell us about yourself, Mitch.
Yeah, so I'm Mitch. I'm a designer on the new content team. I was the principal designer on Bretonia. Yeah. And
what did you do before you joined the company?
I was a modder, so yeah, I was making mods for the game. I was pretty famous, not gonna lie. Made some pretty good mods. Yeah, and then
before he hacks.
Yeah, and then
you might have heard of me. I'm Mitch. I'm a pretty big deal in Wales.
And yeah, then CA kind of spotted me, and here I am.
Wow. Michael King.
For anyone who's not watched the stream
Wheels
in the last few months, I am CA Whelan on the forums. They know me as Wheels. The man with the golden mane, as of a week ago.
I was about to say it was actually in celebration of getting the crown.
Exactly. Yeah, it's supposed to be a golden crown, right? It's not. It's not. Don't take that literally. I am the community content editor. I kind of run the Twitch channel, so let's hope this goes my way.
I'm a bit of a big deal on Twitch.
Big deal.
I was in a band once.
And I'm gonna get smashed to pieces on this stream, so I'm looking forward to it.
Set your expectations low, because
Milk and Cookies in the chat there. Give me a shout out. Big up. Indie Pride knows.
Yeah, he knows that you're going to lose.
He knows I'm going to win.
He probably.
He always believes in me, and that's all you can expect.
And you're flanked by
Gary.
Grab the mic. Yeah. Take the mic. It's yours.
Okay.
The winner of the Make One Not Love.
Yes,
this year.
But I'm not using my beloved green skin, so this could go either way. I'm the battle designer for the new content team, so I brought you things such as the Regiments of Renown, the 30 wins for the anniversary, and things like that. So I'm just going to get my hands on the new content and see what. Well, should I tell people what I'm going to be playing as? I don't know.
Well, we'll go through the factions in a little bit.
I'll leave that for a while. But yeah.
Sneak peek.
Don't worry. I've got such nostalgia for this faction, though. Such nostalgia.
Okay. Well, we'll jump into that. And you're joined by Oscar. Do you want to pass him the mic?
He already has a mic.
I have a mic. I didn't even notice. It was hidden because he's wearing black, and that's black as well. So,
You never know what's coming.
Never.
So I'm a battle designer on Warhammer 2, focusing mostly on abilities, free-for-all, and characters. And used to play Total War multiplayer. Still do, actually. So
just a bit.
Are you particularly good at multiplayer?
Used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. That's his little, Oh, it's fine. I used to be good at multiplayer.
I'm basically just going to show people why one faction is awesome.
I actually blame you for a loss. I suffered in studio against Sam Millen because I looked at a build that you were playing online with greenskins. I literally replicated it. I think it was. I took your build, literally build for build, unit for unit, and I played against them. And he happened to start on a hill. And I'm going to say that's why I lost. But actually, it wasn't that. It was the build. It was terrible. So I blame you for that.
I have a fair share of really terrible builds.
No, it was pretty good. Because it won every other battle. Except from that one against Sam. All people to lose against. Thanks.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the factions everyone's going to be playing. The first matchup is going to be Wheels versus Magic Mitch.
Yo.
Yo.
So
it's Lizardmen v Skaven.
Yes, it is.
So who's playing who?
I'm going to be playing as a Skaven, as everyone knows. I'm a big
should've known.
Skaven fan. Big Skaven fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know because your desk isn't covered with loads.
No. And my mano y mano matchup here is going to be playing as the Lizardmen.
Yeah, so I'm playing Lizardmen. I'm going to be Mazdamundi. Yeah, I like
Spoiler.
Lizardmen. They're probably my favourite out of all the factions I've played so far
Damn right.
in Warhammer 2. So, and I feel they're quite strong at the moment.
They're
So,
so good. I've
good.
been playing a bit with them, especially against Skaven, who, by the way, I just smash every time playing Lizardmen. So,
Yeah,
you know,
okay. Well,
we
you're
get a
not
taste of that
playing,
in the
so...
future. Well, no, I'm not allowed to play. I'm too
oh
good.
yeah, not allowed.
Yeah, literally,
Right.
it's in my
Right.
contract. I'm
This
not
is
allowed
the rule
to play
that he
these.
pretends exists
Yeah.
to not have to play on
Pretend.
stream.
It's all up here. It's real. I saw it. But yeah, so that's going to be the matchup. How do you feel about that one, Wheels? This is
I'm feeling all right. So, as you know, I'm not a dev, so I don't have the prowess that these guys might have. But you are a campaign designer.
Yeah, so I do campaign. I don't necessarily design the battles.
Can't auto-resolve, can you?
So
Can't
if-
auto-resolve this one.
If it was a head-to-head campaign, it would already be over. But yeah, it's a battle, so we'll see. It's
I
gonna be
want to play a
interesting.
head-to-head campaign with you someday.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I've been playing them since like Napoleon. I excel in annoying people with battles that
Oh,
they don't
God.
want to play, but I force them to play them anyway, and then just run away for about 30 minutes until I can get
Nice.
an artillery piece or something.
Sounds
But
fun.
anyway, that's not what we're focused on today. So yeah, you're going to be taking Mazdamundi, so you're going to be a bit of a magic wielder there.
Yeah, he's got some great magic, so
Yeah.
definitely going to be utilising that as much as possible.
Yeah. So what's your plans for your Skaven?
Definitely going to take some anti-large because coming up against
Really?
the Lizardmen. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a difficult match without that.
Yeah.
So you can expect to see some Storm Vermin. I think they're going to be coming out.
What lord are you taking?
Well, you've named yours, so I'm going to be going with Queek. I'm going to take my boy Queek. I do actually prefer Skrulk in the lore, but I'm going to go for a more melee focused lord for this one.
I think
That's the
you
plan.
both of you are taking kind of. Actually, no, I've got Crockgar. Crockgar's my kind of. That's my boy.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
honest, I asked Oscar before when we were planning this which Lizardman lord should I take. I was going to take Crockgar, but he said take Mazdamundi.
Is it the magic wielder that can sit on a massive dinosaur?
Basically, yeah. That's how it was sold to me, so yeah, sounds good.
Well, I've used them in free flows before, but anyway, we'll talk about that in some time in the future. So, Gary, Oscar, what are you going to be taking, Gary?
I'm going to be playing my old favourites, the Dark Elves. I used to collect them in the tabletop actually back in the day, so as I said, a lot of nostalgia for this faction. But I'll be playing as Malekith, and yeah, I'm just going to be going like all in proper melee or focused army, getting in there and just doing some damage.
So, Oscar, how are you going to be countering that with your... what faction could you possibly be taking?
Yeah. I'm gonna play as the High Elves. Show
The whipping boy of
show
our
every
trailers.
doubter why they're great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing as Styrian because, well, he's a tank.
Hmm.
He's deceptively good. You wouldn't expect a small guy to be able to do that much damage.
Mhm.
So
All right. So, that's going to be our matchups. It's going to be Dark Elves, High Elves, and Lizardmen versus Skaven. So it's going to be 2 semi-finals. So we're going to be playing those games. It will be Whelan and Magic Mitch first. You guys, I'm not actually going to.
I don't know where Magic Mitch came from.
I'm looking forward to watching
Yesterday
this.
after lunch, it just came to me in a vision,
Fair enough.
and here
Fair
we
enough.
are now.
Yeah.
I
there
tried to
you
get
go.
some graphics done for it yesterday, but Whelan said we can't do that because it would be copyright because we don't own the image.
Right,
So yeah, you've been saved embarrassment on
it's
stream
fine. Well, so far.
so far.
Let's play the battle first.
Yeah. Let's see what happens there.
Unless we can get a physical wizard hat from someone in the office.
You putting a call out to the studio?
This is a call
of
out
a
to
certain
anyone in
number
the
of
studio
people.
watching. Please bring a wizard hat to the streaming room now.
Oh.
There's many times I've used live streams to ask for things. I've even used PA systems to ask for things to be sent to booths, but I've never actually asked for a wizard hat. So this will be the first time.
All right, let's move this on. Let's play some
Let's
battles.
get our first
I'm getting
game.
pumped. I'm getting
and
excited.
You guys are already set up in a game right
We
now,
are.
so we're going to be joining. I'm going to be joining as spectator, and you're going to be playing. And then after that, it will be Gary and Oscar, and then we'll have the losers from that playing, and then we'll have our final. So I'm just going to take a guess now that the final is probably going to be
Oh,
Gary
no.
Wow, Gary.
Wheels.
Jeez.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
underdogs.
think of
Come
you.
on.
But no, I'm all for Lizardman to win this one. So we're going to send you guys off to your PCs now, and we're going to get ready for our first battle.
Should we get the stat sheets up whilst we're moving from the couch to the desk so we can have a look?
Moving stats is always a good idea.
Moving stats. Let's get Mitch up, and
Let's
we'll
see
see you
what
in a
Magic
sec.
Mitch looks like. All right. Oof, look at that. Campaign designer on the new content team. Fastest man in Wales? Don't know what I think about that. Lead designer on Bretonia. Hello, I have moved over to the desk now. So, oh my God, someone hasn't got a mouse mat over here. We got a Lionheart mouse mat here. One of the best. Good old, well, let's not promote a brand. So, we're going to have Whelan. He's going to be taking over as the Skaven. We're going to have Mitch playing as a Lizardman. The map they have down at the moment. Oh, am I more in the middle? Is that better? Oh, and obviously we got our stats screen up at the moment. We have community content editor, Mr. Michael Whelan himself, current reigning king of the stream, about to be taught a lesson, which is very much true, I feel. He's going to get, hopefully he's going to do quite well in this battle, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has a very, very bad day. So, obviously, in the past, we've been doing these these grudge matches, and we've been doing our semis, third place, then final. So we're going to be doing that today. But obviously, we're playing Total Warhammer 2. And this is going to be the first time you guys are going to get to see any of the multiplayer action here, so this is going to be pretty exciting for everyone in chat. Already, who do you think is going to win this one? I want to see some support in chat. Is it going to be Magic Mitch, or is it going to be the King Wheel? King Wheel or Magic Mitch? I'm trying to get as much of that as possible. So, Gary, what do you think is going to win this one?
Back my fellow designer, and I think that he's got the quality to pull through as a Lizardman, definitely.
How about you, Oscar? The multiplayer master of the studio.
I'd say that Mitch probably has an army that's easier to use, but the question mark is the Skaven. You know, they're unpredictable. Anything can happen. Like even with Michael at the helm, he could win, or he could get mass routed. You never know.
So obviously, we are dealing with still early code. Everything is we still got changes going on all the time, so nothing is final, especially when it comes to things like stats and so on. So we're going to be looking. Obviously, we're going to be seeing some stats in game, and I would take everything with a grain of salt. Loads of things are still subject to change. So always keep that in mind when you're watching any of our streams up towards launch, which is on the 28th of September. You're going to be seeing lots of activity on our streaming channel in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for that. So we're jumping straight into the first battle. It's going to be Oasis of False Hope. It's going to be Lizardmen versus Skaven, and it is going to be Magic Mitch taking on King Wheels. So... So tell me a little bit about the strengths and weaknesses. So how would you match up Skaven to, say, Lizardmen? What would be their big strengths and weaknesses in this matchup?
Well, for Skaven, it's obviously numbers. The Skaven can easily bring 20 units, have a good mix of like expendable clan rats, Skaven slaves, and then their elite monsters and storm vermin. Well, the Lizardmen will have these really big, hard to stop monsters that can just terrorize the Skaven lines if Michael fails to control his morale. So
I think it's going to come down to just if he can kill Mazdamundi. Like that's going to be it, I think. If he can surround him and kill him effectively.
Well, I mean, a part of that will also be I'm expecting Mitch to actually bring Bastiladon with a revivification crystal, which is quite capable of keeping Mazdamundi alive, so he might have to actually take out the Bastiladon first. We'll see. We'll see.
Obviously, we're in game now, so we put over the camera that so we can see what Wheels has brought. He's brought some artillery, which I'm not particularly surprised with. Obviously, artillery for Skaven is ridiculously powerful, and he's gone for the Warp Lightning Cannon, and I think that is going to do him very well when he takes on the large of the Lizardman army. So let's have a quick breakdown of what he's brought here. His front line, he's got some Storm Vermins, he's got some Plague Monks in the center there. He also has some spears out of his slaves, so they're really just throwaway meat shield units. So you can kind of see the quality of his army is kind of on the flanks and in the center, and then he's mixed in some weaker units at the back. He's got some Poison Wind Globadiers. They're also going to be very good against large, and obviously he's got his Plague Priest in the center there. Taking on his right wing there, he has taken 2 units of Rat Ogres, very, very big damage dealers. Probably don't want them to get tied down. And at the back there, he has a unit of spears backing up his Warp Lightning Cannon. Interesting army. I think it's got the numbers, and it's very heavy on killing large. But has Mitch actually taken any here? Got my game sound on. Can't tell over here. Obviously, quickly looking at Mitch's army, as he's coming forward straight away, he's got his Feral Carnosaurs, his front lines made up of a load of Saurus Warriors, and some Temple Guard at the back there, and he's also got his Pterodon Riders flying in. And there's Mazamundi. This is... he's pulling him back a bit, but he's just going straight in. He has to. The artillery's going to be hitting him straight off the bat, and you can see that Wheels is trying to get his Rat Ogres around the back here. Those units are feral ones. He's just going to send them around the flanks here. So this is interesting. He's already dropping his stones down on those Storm Vermin in the back. Did a lot of damage as well. They are very powerful. A lot more powerful than I thought. And he's going straight for the artillery. And those spears there are not really going to be able to do anything about it. And you can see in the middle of the combat there, the Feral Pterodons already in combat, already going after those Plague Monks. Is that really a good engagement there? Especially when they've got the Globadiers over there.
Well, it's not a good engagement for the Plague Monks.
Well, no, they don't seem to be having the best day of it. But when it comes to infantry, is this something that very much favours Lizardmen?
It depends on whether there's Storm Vermin around or not. So,
yeah, his Storm Vermin are kind of on the flanks here. In fact, they haven't even been engaged. They're still out on these flanks. Very sloppy movement here, a bit by Wheels. He's still got like all those infantry just sitting there.
That's what happens when you have an army the size of Skaven, though. I guess you've got so many units, you just lose track of them.
Yeah, and you can see over here he's trying to pull those Rat Ogres down. I think he's really been caught out by the Pterodons here, being able to go for his artillery straight off the bat. It does look like that Feral Pterodon's going to go down. He's put Cold-Blooded on it, which obviously replenishes HP, but at the minus of not really being able to do as much damage. He's going after Mazamundi though. And he sent in his Plague Monks on that. But there's a lot of big creatures in the way, I think.
yeah, Plague Monks don't pierce armor, and those big dinosaurs have a lot of armor.
And he has Temple Guard as well, who are easily, I think, one of the best looking units in the game. Absolutely monstrous. Talking of monstrous, we've got ourselves a Feral Carnosaur here. By far one of the best looking units. Oh yeah, come on. This is not looking good for Mitch right now, is it? Sorry, for Wheels.
He just needs to clear up his artillery in the backfield so he can take some shots on those big creatures, but I don't think he's going to do it.
He's going to start getting shots now, and there's one of them.
There we go.
He's firing at Mazamundi, and he's hitting him as well. That's quite a big target.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of damage. He's also had trophy heads put down on him as well. And that is that Mazamundi fighting there against
The Plague Priest.
Yeah, Plague Priest, who's not having a great day of it. So right now, this is a pretty all-encompassing fight. I mean, over here, still these Storm Vermin are just not engaged. But if you see over here, that Feral Seglodon is running away. This is a back-and-forth battle here.
Yeah. And I think Michael is actually summoning some clan rats to give him more numbers with Vermintide. So.
Where is he doing that? I don't see
it already happened.
Already happened, yeah. Once a minute, get the menace from below.
No, not menace from below.
Oh, not menace from
it's
below.
a Lore of Plague spell called Vermintide, which lets you summon a unit of clan rats for around like 5 magic, 5 power or so.
Oh yeah, it's in the quest battle actually.
Yeah.
There's Quick Head Taker. You know, he's fighting. He's obviously very good head to one-on-one commander. Does a lot of damage here. This is. I can see Michael starting to get a bit of control on the battlefield here.
Here comes the Storm Vermin finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've just been having a bit of a picnic over in the corner. They've barely taken any damage. I mean, Mitch is starting to get some rallies on his Feral Steglodons here, but this is looking really messy for him. And that artillery is back up in action as well. Well, actually, I say that, but I mean, there is a Connoisseur over here. But it's a good matchup because it's been tied down by these, clan rat with spears. Not exactly the, a high-costing unit for the Skaven here. So a lot of this is coming down to this fight here, and it's Temple Guard and Lord Mazamundi, and obviously he's got a Bastardon with his laser gun. Possibly one of the coolest things we had in one of the quest battles.
I think that's a Revivification crystal.
So what does that one do?
It heals.
Ah, okay. Have you been giving him advice on what to take?
Maybe.
I kind of feel like you have. Is it, no,
he didn't follow me though, so.
Yeah, the balance of power though is very much half and half. The amount of units obviously the Skaven had was double that of the Lizardmen, but now it's pretty much half and half when it comes to that. These Storm Vermin have been a very good choice in this battle, I feel.
They have, but just the amount of time they've spent in combat is just... Oh, he needs to get them in there properly.
Well, they're in there now, and they are fighting against the Seglodon, so they are doing quite well now. A lot of magic's been put down, so you can see there's going to be a lot of resurrection. So, run me through the crystal.
Basically, it'll heal a unit for around 500 health over a period of 26 seconds. So it's a fairly slow heal, but Bastillodon has 10 charges. So in general, you want to take out the Bastillodon before you try to focus down on like the other big monsters. So that's like the main value of having a Bastillodon at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, and there you see that artillery's back in play, and it's doing a hell of a lot of damage. And it's a perfect place for it to be. I mean, everything's really being just held down by a lot of the, Storm Vermin and other Skaven units, and this just gives them perfect time to just keep firing that artillery into combat. That was a miss, but it was close. You can see the Feral Carnosaurs. You know, they don't hang around as long as some of the other units, obviously.
Yeah, they're the feral variants, so they're going to rampage or run off the field. They're just wild animals, really. So hard hitting, but they won't stay around very long.
Yeah, so you got to use them for kind of more hit and run than for long-term fighting.
Or support them. Just make sure you've got a big block of Saurus warriors around them all times, I'd imagine.
Yeah. What Mitch could have done is actually bring the character mount versions of, like, because the Lizardman heroes have Stegodon, Ancient Stegodon, and Carnosaur mounts. So he could have brought those for a bit higher price and got a more power and reliability out of that. But he didn't.
Well, it's not over just yet. We're talking like it's already over, unless you... Oh.
Ooh, it's not looking good. It's not looking
just as
good.
I say that. Obviously, there's a lot of units out of control here, and obviously this is a mechanic with the Lizardmen when they...
They're feral instincts, they're primal instincts even. They'll kick in and then they'll just start fighting and be out of your control for a while.
I don't think Mazamundi's having a great time constantly being shot out by this lightning. Yeah. But, and there's Cleek, he's not having a great day either by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's going to need some support because he's just not able to take on a Stegodon.
He's taking on more than one right now. But obviously he's got some Rat Ogres in there to help, and that laser fire constantly coming in. Called laser fire, obviously the warp lightning. But there you go. You wanted some support? How about some clan rats?
Yeah, that'll help. Oh, the Carnosaur's
back.
Well, this is an epic fight. Obviously, this is looking very dangerous. So Mazamundi is on his last health here. He's going to get shot out, I feel.
He's been focusing on him the whole battle, so it's going to pay its points back if it actually gets this kill, though.
Yeah, I can't believe how many shots he's actually fired on him.
Yeah, well, Mazamundi, you can easily pay 3,000 gold for him, so he's a big investment.
He's had a bad day. That's not gone well. I think this is going to be a win for the retaining champion, King Wheels, here. I don't even know what's left. What has Mitch got left?
Temple Guard, maybe?
Temple Guard?
I'd imagine it'd be Temple Guard.
Oh, yeah. Is it Temple Guard? Yeah. My favourite unit in the game.
These guys don't quit.
They're absolutely amazing looking units. So how would you want to use Temple Guard, except from in this situation where they're getting smashed from all sides by Rat Ogres?
In general, you probably want to point them at the biggest, meanest thing you can find on the battlefield.
Look at this, they're just being surrounded right now.
That's the Vermintide.
And that's going to be it, I believe. And that is, it looks like Mitch conceded that battle. I think he might have already just lost it there. So, yeah, we're gonna have to bring them in again, go over that battle. But what did you guys think of it over there? So, Gary, what did you make of that display?
I thought Mitch did really well at the start. Like, he shot down the artillery, but I just think he could have committed a bit more to the actual guns to shut them down, because that was what won it for Wheels over there.
Over that as it comes in. What do you think, Oscar? What did you think of that performance?
I'd say, like, for one of the big mistakes Mitch did was not focusing down on Queek. Like, if he had taken Queek out,
Feels good.
he probably would have like a fairly open route towards just routing every other Skaven unit with terror. Because in the end, the Skaven are only as weak, or only as strong as their morale is. So.
So actually, if we can just bring up the game screen again, we can go through the kind of kills here. You can kind of see where that all came down. Obviously, the Storm Vermin doing what they did there, you know, kind of the anchor of a Skaven army. They're really the backbone of your army, being able to especially deal against so many large units. But I think that Warp Lightning Cannon really was the pivotal thing that forced Mitch forward, and also just constantly being able to fire that in. But yeah, look, Queek Headtaker was very close to going down at one point, and you can see the damage that was coming in by some of the just standard Saurus Warriors' shields, and even Mazamundi himself. So I'm going to go over to the sofa now and say hello to everyone over there and get a little recap on that.
How's it going, guys? How you doing, Mitch? Feeling good?
I'm fine.
You feeling alright?
I'm fine. Totally fine. Not at all upset.
That was a fun battle.
It was good.
That was a good battle.
It was very good.
That was fun. I hope the chat
Yeah, I had
enjoyed
a lot
that.
of fun
That was really fun. I felt like, I don't know, where do you think it went wrong?
I think my main mistake was my Carnosaur I needed to get to kill Queek. But I sent him off to kill your Warp Lightning Cannons.
Yeah.
So he basically ran off away from the battle, and then he kind of went into Rampage, and then I couldn't utilize him anymore. He was just like wasted. So
this is the thing with the Lizardmen, and this is why they're quite sort of nuanced to play. You need to make sure that you get your like feral units into the best like combat.
Yeah, because
otherwise,
you can
if
totally
they go
lose
mental,
them.
they could be gone for the rest of the match, right? And Queek is a tank, by the way.
Queek is amazing.
Whew.
Yeah.
He's got some
very
health.
good.
Not quite as much as Master Mundi though. Oh my god.
So Master Mundi has a ton of HP, but I think like Queek is just like, and I don't know if you were using the abilities on him as well.
Yeah, so he had it. Verminous Valor is really fun.
Yeah.
So Verminous Valor is one of the ability that he has, which basically allows him to like explode everything around him.
Yeah.
It doesn't damage friendlies, but it completely disrupts everyone's formation, so he can just run away.
Yeah.
Which is really useful. And then the other one I had was his
trophy heads.
His trophy heads, which just completely drops the stats.
That's like I think at one point like Mazda Mundi and Queek were fighting each other, and I think you must have used that because I saw Mazda Mundi's like health just go like just drop instantly.
Fantastic. And of course, because it's lowering his stats, it's helping out all of the units around as well. When you've got that whole group of Storm Vermin coming in, it's good times.
Yeah.
It's good times.
It's good.
So up next, Dogvert, we have the man himself, Oscar, King of Free For All, versus Gary Dean, the King of Make War Not Love. How do you feel about that? I am talking to you, Dogvert.
I'm just getting ready for the next game. So yes, that's going to be our next matchup. So far, my predictions are correct.
Yeah.
You jinxed it, James.
Well, I didn't say that you were going to win.
I lost.
Yeah, I said you're going to lose.
Yeah,
I
you
said it's
jinxed.
going to be Wheels and Gary in the final. Damn,
You're
don't
right.
you dare question me again.
I thought you would have bet on me.
I never bet on you, mate. Like I know what you like with betting. So obviously it's going to be Hounds versus Dark Elves. You know, the battle continues in that, and it's going to be multiplayer master Oscar versus Make War Not Love. That is literally your name now.
Apparently, yeah, it's going to stick.
You're gonna have to live with that for the rest of your life, I feel. Unless you become king.
I'm okay with it, you know. We've been
Unless
losing that for a while, so
you become king today.
that's true. It might sort of erase that part, or at least put it in the background a little bit.
All right, so we're gonna send these guys off to go host a game. Keep the spectator title as it normally is, and I'll be joining in. Not that you guys could jump in and play anyway, because you don't have the game yet, because you can't get it until the 28th of September. So we're going to send off Oscar and Gary now. We're going to bring up their little bios. Have a look at that as I swivel in my chair. So we have a look at their little action cards. So there you go. You're going to have Oscar Anderson, Associate Designer for Warhammer 2, big fan of seals. Huge fan of seals. He gives me a big smile on the way out there. Creator of Free For All and many other things. So we're going to move on to Mr. Make War Not Love himself, Mr. Gary. Battle designer, new content team, winner of Make War Not Love, and he is also the creator of the 30th birthday Regiments of Renown. So we're going to be seeing these guys battle it out. I just want to kind of get everyone else's take on this matchup. So, first of all, Mitch.
Let's just throw it out there straight away. Oscar is the battle designer for Warhammer 2. So
he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
He's got a lot of pressure, right? He knows these factions kind of in and out, you know? He knows every strength and weakness of every faction. But Gary has kind of been on the new content team for a while, so, you know, he's been looking at Norska, not so much the Warhammer 2 factions. So
you never know what can happen in these battles. You never know. Gary could just bring it out of the park. This could just be the day that he is clutching victory.
Yeah, he wants to win as well.
He wants it a lot. He wants it a lot. I think Oscar's going to be pretty chill about it. I think he's pretty confident. So maybe he might just get a little bit too complacent. Yeah. And that'll be where Gary takes it.
The nerves are going to be eating away at him. He knows that he loses. Everyone in the studio is going to be like, what happened?
The great thing is where they sit up there, they're right kind of behind each other. So there's going to be a great tension as they're playing each other.
Halfway through the match, Leo tried to grab me to ask me a question. I was like, I'm busy.
Yeah. That's always the way. Like, I'm in the middle of something. So I'm going to join the game here.
What do we think on a builds what we're going to see here? We saw them do like a very small test battle just to make sure that everything was working okay on the network.
Yeah.
And
obviously we're playing pre-release. This is still early for a lot of stuff. We're going to be showcasing a lot more in the future on live streams and so on. So keep an eye out for that on social media and on Twitch channel. If you're not following, please do it, because we have a lot to show you for Warhammer 2 coming up soon. But as always, there are still many things subject to change, and especially when you're dealing with stats and stuff like that, you'll be seeing a lot of variations from now till release. So please keep that in mind, guys. But I know that won't stop people like Milk and Cookies Total War from doing an entire guide based off a stream he saw where he breaks down all the stats of units. But that's okay.
40-minute video of why Whelan is the best multiplayer.
I want a top 10 list of why Whelan is lucky to win any of these battles, which will be something I wouldn't be surprised to see. So obviously we're going to have CA Duck versus Gary here. So it's going to be Oscar has been relegated to the whipping boys of pretty much every single one of our trailers with High Elves here to get smashed, possibly.
I think High Elves might just get the last laugh here, though, when they tear apart some Dark Elves in front of them. And this is a bit of rivalry in the lore, Mitch.
It is, yeah.
So this is going to be a real hot stuff show.
It's a really good showdown. The other thing is that, like, obviously Oscar knows High Elves have been getting a bit of a raw deal. So I think he was really going to try now just to
show everyone.
Just to show everyone
these guys know how to fight.
They can do work, yeah.
So obviously, when it comes to multiplayer, guys, here's some questions in chat. Obviously, we're going to be very traditional on the multiplayer. It's still going to be as it was in Warhammer 1, but we will have free-for-all as well. So you'll be able to play that new mode when that comes out on the 28th. And that will be very different free-for-all to Dumb Pass. It's all about the damage, so it's completely designed with that in mind. So it's not just, I'm the last person left and I win. It's all about just like getting in there, doing damage. You can die in the first 2 minutes, as I have done before, but it didn't stop me from winning the game. So keep that in mind when you're playing. So if you sit in the corner and just sit there with artillery, that's great, but it's all about the damage you do. And obviously you get a little bonus if you survive at the end, but not as much as if you get in there and fight in the battle. And the maps will be made especially for the free-for-all, so they're a lot smaller as well. But we're not talking about free-for-all today. Today is the CA grudge match, and we're going with our second semi-final between Oscar and some other guy, Make War Not Love Champion Gary.
That's his name, yeah. Make War Not Love Champion, yeah.
That's literally what my note says down here. Not that I have any notes in front of me. So we're into this game now. We are going to be looking at Oscar. So I want you guys in chat. Is it going to be Agony Duck? Well, that's used to his old name. Now it's CA Duck. Or is it going to be Gary? So put that down in chat. High Elves, Dark Elves. Let me know in chat what you guys are supporting.
Let's shove us an emoji with a massive beard on it if you're voting for Gary. And is there a seal emoji?
Is there a seal emoji? Find me the closest thing to a seal emoji and spam it in chat for duck. Or spam a duck. If there's a duck.
Duck will also work.
So obviously, let's have a look at some of the units that Oscar has brought. He has brought the Dragon Princes. By the way, these guys are one of the best looking cav units we've ever put into the game.
They really look cool.
These guys are absolutely amazing, and they've just vanished because he's deploying them somewhere.
Also, look at this map, Dogbert. Look at these beautiful Ulfuan vistas that we have.
I just love the rainbows.
Look at the rainbow. Beautiful towers in the background. Incredible.
terrain and everything, the backgrounds for the maps in Warhammer 2 absolutely amazing. For those, you're going to be seeing a lot more of it obviously when you get to play it. There is some spectacular stuff, especially for me, Lizardmen territory, seeing all the temples and the jungle. Honestly, you guys are in for a treat when you get to see that, when you get your hands on the game, and you'll be seeing it a lot on our live streams in the coming weeks. So let's take a look at Duck's army here. At the front line, he has taken some archers. Obviously, High Elves, very, very good with our archers. He has taken at least one flying unit, possibly two.
Was that a cheeky dragon he's got there?
He's got a cheeky something.
Is it Star Dragon?
This is a Star Dragon.
Yeah,
they got what they wanted. They got the Star Dragon.
So
is this been requested? I don't know.
Gary played against Oscar yesterday in a quick test match, and the Star Dragon caused Gary a lot of problems. So I think Gary might be preparing for a Star Dragon this time.
So we got White Lions of us. These guys, obviously, great axe infantry, and they just look badass.
Yeah, they've got that massive white line pelt on their shoulders, which makes them look very cool. Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, you can see the what happens when you play a lot of multiplayer stuff. He's taken a lot of just the cheaper spear infantry. But then again, for High Elves, I don't know how cheap their spear infantry really is, because all their units are pretty well rounded. Obviously, he's taken a Mage of Life, and along with his cav, he also has Tyrant, and he also has his Dragon Priest over here. And what's he has hidden here? Ooh. Oh my God! This is not going to go well.
Ooh, cheeky.
He's got Olivian Readers and Reapers.
And we're off as well.
And straight away into Dark Riders.
Oh wow!
How do you think this one's going to go?
Well, the thing is, this is more favourable for Gary because he's closer to the rest of his army, so he can double back right now and cut these guys off.
I'm not sure if he's going to make it there in time. Look at the damage they're taking already.
Are tearing them up. It's shot cav versus shot cav, but I think Duck got his charge off.
Yeah.
And it looks like Gary's going to try and make haste and get out of that combat. But I think at the same time, Duck realizes that if he stays there any longer, then more cav are going to turn up. And it's time for a cold one with the boys.
Now these guys are an incredible unit. Really, really good anti-large damage, and they're very good at taking down other cav. So he needs to be careful there. Those Illyrian Reavers will get torn to pieces.
Yeah, but they are very quick, and they are out of the action. So obviously that's going to be 2 units of Cold War Knights, and they are, spear calves, so they're going to be very good against large, especially things like the Star Dragon if you can get them in combat. He's taking a lot of Executioners, their dual sword infantry. So give me an idea of what dual sword infantry kind of do. What makes them interesting? Oh my God, there's the breath from a Star Dragon there.
Damn.
Obviously, dragons in Warhammer 2 were able to do, breath attacks.
And that's all dragons as well, and the Hydra. The Hydra can also spit fire when it's not in combat as well.
Yeah, but it hits everything. It can. It goes all over the place. It can hit your troops and the enemy troops. So you have to be very careful with it. It's kind of like a cluster.
It's very cool. It means that you can use it like a bombardment unit as well, those dragons, which is very fun.
And the thing is, I don't think Gary has anything right now that can deal with that. I think that Star Dragon is just kind of having free reign over.
He's got nothing in the air.
His line.
He's got no real ranged. Obviously, we do have
Cauldron of Blood there.
Look at that.
Death Hag. That just looks amazing.
Right. You've got to pimp my ride.
Shout out
to Duke in the chat for giving me that joke.
Trying to look as cool as possible while marching.
He looks really annoyed, doesn't he?
Just like, oh, for God's sake, I've already lost my riders.
Deal with these high elves again.
Not another Star Dragon.
And that Star Dragon is just sitting at the back here. You can see that range fire is starting now, so this is one that's going to get quite interesting. Oscar is trying to bait him in here. This is what happens when you play a lot of multiplayer. You don't need to rush in here. You've got some range. He's got more of a well-rounded army with the High Elves, so he's trying to just bait in Gary here. And obviously Gary has some anti-large, which he's going to need against that Star Dragon, but it's all cavalry-based pretty much.
I'll tell you what, this is a much more long, thought-out strategic battle than
me and you were just straight in there.
We would just smash each other to pieces straight up.
Well, this is what happens when you play a lot of multiplayer, I think. But he doesn't have that much range. He only has like 1 unit of range here. But obviously, they're still very powerful.
High Elf Archer units are very, very good. Do a lot of damage.
Also, a lot of the Dark Elf units here don't have shields or anything, so, they take it quite badly.
Yeah, especially when you go for those
dual sword infantry. Oh my God, that charge!
What a charge. Dragon Prince is coming in, shivering them.
And this is where
the chariot.
This is where the lack of spear units is going to be very, very dangerous for Gary. And these cav are just going to constantly be hammering into these units and taking them out one at a time. And look at that backup there. Even though he's taking a charge here, and obviously the Cold War Knights are coming in, he's got a spear unit there to back up, along with whenever he needs to use it, a Star Dragon. So this is not a bad engage at all. But those Dragon Princes are taking a lot of damage.
It's those Cold War Knights, man. They're so good at taking out other cavalry. They do so much anti-large damage. And do you know what? I think I told this to Gary before the stream, and he's literally just taken an entire army full of them.
Well,
Those
that would be
nice.
something that you would do. Obviously, you see, this is a good fight on this flank for Duck. Bringing in those cold ones, he's going to need it, especially against the Star Dragon here.
Yeah, this is his chance to take that Star Dragon out of the game.
He's not going to do enough damage here. Over on the front line, though, it's kind of more going the way for the Dark Elves. So I think this is going to be very much cavalry versus infantry battle with a Star Dragon thrown in. So obviously he's got a Death Hag here, and that is giving a lot of buffs to his melee infantry nearby, and that has already routed a lot of the High Elf infantry here.
I'll tell you what, I think Gary's actually probably got the stronger infantry here if he can use it. And he's just popped Murderous Prowess there, so Murderous Prowess is one of the army abilities for the Dark Elves. Once a certain number of kills on the battlefield have happened, they're going to get a map-wide buff for about a minute, which is going to do a lot of damage for them.
Yeah, these High Elves are giving up the ghost already. But that's expected considering, Murderous Prowess and the fact that they are fighting against melee infantry.
And we just talked about those dual swords, dark air. Is it? Have they got the Black Ark Corsairs there? Or
yeah, he does. He has Black Ark Corsairs.
Yeah, those guys are really good at anti-infantry.
Executioners are such a good-looking unit as well.
Those death masks.
But you can see at this point, this flank the cav have already been broken. Obviously he's lost a lot of his cav in this, but he still has them in fights somewhere. And that Star Dragon's barely been touched. So infantry fight has gone Gary's way, but the cav fight has most definitely gone Duck's way. So this is going to be kind of a more hit-and-run approach now from Oscar.
But also, we're going to see now that he's basically got no anti-large now that those Cold War Knights.
One unit spears.
He's going to get wrecked if he's not careful.
I don't know how many more charges that Star Dragon has for that range attack, though. I believe it's limited at 3. So a lot of those units have been routed in that combat exchange. They're starting to rally now, and I would expect you're starting to see them reforming somewhere. And you can see the same as well from Gary. Malekith here. He's doing all right. He's going to be doing a lot of walking in this battle, I feel.
Very sassy. I feel like one thing that's going Gary's way is that he's very uniformed in the centre there. So a lot. He
has to be, especially when these charges are going to come in. He needs to get, from Oscar's point of view right now, especially he's got a bit more of a hit and run. He needs to be able to hit the flanks and kind of hit, hammer and anvil. He does have range.
Yeah,
he does have that dragon, so he's choosing when to engage. But Gary needs to swarm him when he does. But he does have one thing which is able to move quite quickly, and that is his Death Hag on the man.
Powered by sheer want for blood. It looks amazing. I love that model. It's actually tall enough to like poke the dragon in the head when it's flying. It's just going to run
These
around
archers
now.
are not going to have a great time of it, I feel.
Just ramming in. Those archers are going to be taken out pretty quick.
So over here, this is you see what I'm saying. As soon as there's a unit isolated, it's going to be taken out, and you can already see that movement coming out from. Whoa, wrong button. You can already see all that cav making a move here. So those Corsairs are probably going to get caught out, I feel.
And Oscar's just taking his time. He's just reforming his units. Doesn't need to rush here. He's got the advantage of maneuverability, which means he can pick the engagements. And as we can see, in come those Reavers with Tyrion at the front as well, and they're going to take those Black Ark Corsairs. Bosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the little jump there just at the end.
And along with that, in comes a little unit. Nothing.
Just a small one.
Just a small one. And more cav as well. So yeah, this is going to be a strategy for Oscar. He wants to isolate these Dark Elf units and just overwhelm them with cavalry and obviously Star Dragons. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness, that was a charge.
See you later. I wouldn't get up. I'd play dead. And away he goes. He's done his job for today. So obviously you can see Gary's trying to bring everything just back in. So it's kind of chasing him at this point. Oh, big spell there. Vortex spell.
Oh, he's just
catching out a few, but not enough.
Just not gone in the direction he wanted it. If that had gone towards the unit, that could have done a real chunk of damage against those White Lions.
And look, there's another rear charge, and then in again. So this is going to be just constant hit and run. And this is what happens when you kind of have that cavalry and monster advantage. There was a single range or two range units maybe on the Dark Elves would be able to do something about it. But he's just going to be playing catch-up in a lot of this battle.
And I tell you what, the Dark Elves have some really good range units. Those Dark Shards, I think, the repeater crossbow units with shields as well, they can really do a lot of armor-piercing damage. And I think that might have been a good choice for Gary to bring into this battle. But it's too late, Mitch.
It is too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
I think that Star Dragon might just win.
He might
this
not
game,
actually be able to get away here. If he keeps him in combat, he might be able to surround him. Obviously, a
finding
lot
the
of these other
spears in.
units are too far away to do anything, so this is a chance. Oh my god!
Look
Wow.
at that! Devastation.
What was that?
Oh, and that's broken quite a few of those there.
You can see that morale start to drop now. Although in come the Executioners.
Word of Pain's been dropped down on the Star Dragon, and he is coming really low to dying. This might be it. Might be able to get him here.
Oh, in come the White Lions. This is a real clash of cut titans here in the centre. There is a lot of damage being dealt out.
That Star Dragon is, it's got regrowth on it. Where is that priest? There it is, the Mage of Life.
Oscar's really holding back,
He
actually.
buffed him up massively. That resistance, 44% physical resistance, you know, great replenishment effect. I think he's buffed that spell as well. So, man, the HP just went up
Oh
massively
my
on
God,
that unit.
he's almost gone all the way up to full health with those.
Yeah,
Look at the spells he's
it's
dropped.
exhausting, wavering, but HP-wise, it's there. But more importantly, Tyrion's down. He
Tyrion's
died in
down.
that fight. I don't know where he died, but he was here somewhere. So this is the good chance here
Oh,
for
the
Gary to
dragon's
make
broken.
it.
This could be it.
And you can see
Goodness.
their morale over here is not going to be great. The Lord's dead, and you know, in this, you know, death blob of Dark Elves, Malekith once again, he's just strolling to victory at this point.
I feel like Duck should have targeted Malekith a bit more. He's really helping out with the morale on that side. And in comes some more rear charges.
Yeah, I love the Dragon Princes. Oscar's been using them to great effect in this battle.
I think Gary's done the right
But
thing, though.
he's called it quits.
There you go.
There you go.
Gosh.
Gary's done it.
Wow.
My goodness. This has really been the underdogs.
Yeah, wow.
Malekith just took out Tywin and the army just melted. The dragon kept in combat for quite a while there and did an absolute great job. But
It's a valiant
Malekith
defeat.
really showed his strength in that combat, along with
Valiant
the
defeat.
rest of those, executioners. I mean, lost his cav really, really early. The Cold One Riders did not hang around very long, but you know, he took the infantry out really early. I said it's going to be a fight between the cav and then infantry, and I think obviously having the Death Hag on the mount really, really helped being able to buff up that combat strength, keeping that raw power going, just buffing them up there, and he just chewed through them. And it just kept in that blob. And as soon as the Star Dragon did come into the big fight, he couldn't get out of it again. He was stuck in combat.
I think the issue is Oscar didn't specialise in something. Gary knew exactly what his combat was, right?
Yeah.
He had those executioners on the front line. He was going to go over there, get that armor-piercing damage, and just wipe out the infantry. And once it got to that point, because Duck hadn't really specialised in one type, it meant that he was sort of not strong enough on both of the other flanks to actually take him out.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, I think the Dark Elf infantry really came up against some weak High Elf infantry,
Yeah.
so they triggered that murderous prowess like quite early on. So that definitely played in Gary's favour quite a lot.
And then as soon as those White Lions came in, murderous prowess,
Yeah.
giving him all that extra damage, bang.
Yeah, the infantry that they did have for the High Elves was just outnumbered and outclassed quite early on. And yeah, that murderous prowess, when that propped, that was it. Like, you could see Oscar trying to run his infantry away, like straight away.
Yeah.
He just realised that this fight is over. Get away. Run to the hills. So
Boys.
the boys are back. So let's go over to the couch and see what's going on there.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
You know, a breath, Gary.
Stressful. Yeah, it was really stressful. The clicks per minute were through the roof.
Yeah.
No, it was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I just went for a sort of solid mainline. Don't bother with range. Just really focus in on that Dark Elf melee prowess, because I've not got as good micro skills as Oscar, so managing ranged and my melee would have been difficult against like such a player. So yeah, good game.
Yeah. Well, some analysis. Basically, I went for a sort of a Lore of Life mage, regrowth Star Dragon Tyrion build. The only problem was that in the early phases of the battle, Tyrion and the Star Dragon didn't take damage. So I was sitting there with a full mana pool and not really having too many worthwhile things to heal. Probably should have healed my Dragon Princess, didn't do it. And then in the late game I had one trump card, which was like getting a terror route with Sunfang going on. Did a lot of damage, didn't quite swing it from that point. So.
Yeah, not damaging Teclis and the Dragon Princess in the early stage was totally part of the plan. Like that was entirely like
from day one.
yeah, it was just don't touch those guys. They're
Yeah.
just
No, I mean beyond that, this build which we're playing on is a bit older than what we actually currently have. So some overpowered units.
Oh, I
help
see.
guide it this
I
way.
see. Okay, okay. So, what do you think that you took maybe a slightly two bits of everything I can kind of build? Like you didn't really specialize in one type.
Well, I think the build I had could have done the job, but I basically wasted my Dragon Breaths. Didn't really finish the Cad Battle quick enough to get support to the infantry line, and then finally just my mage didn't really deliver until like the late game, and that stage I had just lost too much to really swing it around anymore.
What do you think was the biggest threat to you on the battlefield?
The Cauldron of Blood, like that thing just basically tore through my Tyrion at the end.
It does a lot of damage and it really buffs
Yeah,
up the troops around it as well.
Yeah.
I just popped all the abilities on it at the end there, gave it some buffs, and just it shreds.
Yeah. All right, Dogba. Did you see that one coming?
I called him.
You did call it.
I did call it. I called both these games so far, so it's okay. Don't worry, I am just psychic. So, so I think that means we're going to have to go into our third place matchup now, which is going to be Magic Mitch. Sorry,
I've got to play Oscar now, which
Gotta
is
play Oscar.
dreadful.
So it's going to be Lizard Men versus High Elves. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. I think they kind of match up quite well. I would feel. So how do you feel about your chances, Magic Mitch?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to take, to be honest. I was kind of planning on playing against Dark Elves, so...
Ooh! Got it for you, mate!
Yeah. So I've got like an army saved, but I'm going to have to change it up. I'll have to quickly think of something. I don't really know, to be honest. I'll decide kind of spur of the moment. Might be something crazy, something cheesy. We'll see.
Oscar, you got any plans up your sleeve?
I'll have to change my game plan at least.
Yeah, try to change it to win instead of get smashed. That would be my advice to you, someone who doesn't lose on stream. So yeah, guys, head off to your PCs now, set up that game, and I will be in there to spectate your someone's inevitable victory and someone's inevitable loss. I am going to go with Oscar in this battle.
You've called it right every time now,
Yeah,
so I've already lost.
Magic Mitch is going to go down to 2-0 on his first competitive live stream. So what do you guys think? What do you think? King Wheels? Who do you think is going to win this matchup?
I think Oscar's got this one. I don't think you took it seriously enough in the first match. I think that was the issue.
Yeah.
I think you saw Gary and you thought, this will be easy, but now you're gonna be back with a vengeance.
I'm going to be facing like all of his pent up anger now from losing a multiplayer battle.
That was his warm up.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
All right.
So Gary, who do you think has got this one?
Sorry, Mitch.
It's fine. it's fine, mate.
It's
like-
gonna be Oscar.
It is going to be Oscar.
Okay, well, let's go straight to that. Let's have a look at the cards once again. So we're going to have a look at Magic Mitch. You guys head off to your PCs, get this stuff on the road, and we'll be able to see exactly. So let's have a look at Magic Mitch and see, just in case you guys weren't here at the beginning, he is the campaign designer on the new content team. Fastest man in Wales. So far, won no games and lost one. And he is the lead designer on Bretonia.
Should we change that stat to worst Total War player in Wales?
Worst Total players. Don't worry, there are plenty worse than him. But we'll give him a benefit of doubt here. He has his chance to take on the battle design, see if he can get a win here. He is going to be taking the Lizard Man, taking on the High Elves. We have Oscar, who's going to be playing as the High Elves. He is social designer on Warhammer II. Big fan of seals, as apparently most Finnish are. I have no idea what they're talking about this, but he has showed me a live stream of a seal and has explained to me in great detail how it brings much national pride. I have no idea.
Is it not the Sima ringed seal, I think it was?
Oh, I don't...
Yeah, the Sima ringed seal. Just I'm going to cover his
You
bases.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
You've had this explained to you in
I
great
sit
detail
behind
as
him,
well.
so yeah.
Is it non-stop seal cam on one screen?
I mean, yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, just come on, we need to do some work. Let's just.
And he's obviously working on Free for All, which we're going to be showing off more in the future, so keep an eye out for that. I am very much looking forward to Free for All because it gives me a chance to show to everyone in stream, but I am probably better at Total War than you and everyone else in the studio. So we're going to be doing that much later. Oh, come on.
This is all you care about, isn't it? Just talking about yourself on stream.
This is all I'm on stream for, is to basically boast about my amazing skill at Total War games.
All right.
So I am going to...
Good to know.
Oh, well, that game's already in, so I'm going to be looking at Duck and Mitch. We can go to their selection screen, actually.
Ooh, let's have a look.
Why not? And have a look what Duck is taking. I don't think I'm going to be able to see what Mitch is
He's definitely doing a new build, that's for sure.
Yeah, obviously Mitch is most definitely never, ever going to be looking at his at the stream to find out what units he's picking. So, what do you... Hate you having so... Oh, God, Dogwood's so cocky, lol. Just like, yeah, and... It's fine. You guys get to play against me someday. I'm sure it will go well for you. So we have Duck and we have Mitch. You can see... So guys in chat, who do you think is going to win, High Elves or Lizardman? I have no idea if we have any emoticons that even work for lizards, and I have no idea what a High Elf one would be. But if there's a Duck-related one or a Fish-related one, which I did see people spamming, put that one in chat for Duck. I know that makes no sense. So he is going to go, I believe, kind of a similar build previous. It actually looks very similar to his previous build. Maybe a bit more infantry heavy, and he maybe has gone for a bit more heroes in this one.
He's got his Phoenix Guard there. He's sort of pulled out his like weaker sort of spearmen and replaced them with the elite Phoenix Guard. So I think he's anticipating those big monsters again.
Well, you've got it with the Lizardmen, right? If you don't bring Phoenix Guard playing as the High Elves against the Lizardmen, then I feel like you're going to have a bit of trouble.
If someone's talking, grab the mic. Do not let someone else hold it. Literally fight.
Hello.
Hello.
We sent the other two off with the ones that clip on. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We can literally talk to them while they're at their desk. Do not do that, Jess. That would be terrible. So yeah, there's a lot of tuna spam, and there are actual like Dino and Skaven ones, and there are Frog ones. So there's plenty in chat right now. If you want to get involved in that, just spam away. I will literally not pay attention when the battle starts. So obviously, by the way, guys are looking at costs and stats and everything. Do remember that this is always subject to change. We are nowhere near our release, which is on the 28th of September. So lots of things might change between now and then. Nothing here is final. So we are going to be waiting for these guys to start out. We're, once again, as you would expect from Duck, as he is, quite a heavy multiplayer player, he likes to take quite a balanced army instead of just kind of going maybe, I don't know, like Gary there, who just, spams infantry and maybe a 2 cav units.
I played like a Roman, just heavy infantry up the center. That's it.
Well, it worked for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought it went quite well. Although Oscar's got a very good skill of pulling your army apart, and it was a really stressful affair trying to sort of not be pulled and isolated by his cavalry and dragons and all sorts.
Indeed. Obviously, and people in chat, like, yes, 28th is not too far away, but, stats change and stuff like that. That is always, something which gets changed around, so wait for that. Did I say nowhere near release? I wish that was the case, but we are very close now. So you're going to be seeing a lot more content on this Twitch channel and on our YouTube, and more to come in the future, so keep an eye on that. What's the cost of the dragon? Right now, don't forget that a lot of those things, have changed, so I don't actually can show you that anyway. Oh, they're down at the bottom there. But as remember, these things might be different in the final version on the 28th. So they're going to go with Iron Mountain Pass, I believe. I think Duck is ready to battle. So let's see what we get. So, do you think with the build that you're seeing from Oscar here, that he's going to have what he needs to take down a Lizardman army?
I think he is. I think he's definitely just a more intelligent player, and he'll be able to get the right engagements, I think, compared to Mitch. Because I think once Oscar starts to pull his formation apart, he's going to panic and then just lose control of his army.
Like you're saying, it's just smarter. Smarter player.
He's got better instincts, I think, is probably primal instincts, you'd say.
I was about to say, like, smarter in what way exactly? We battle tactics, I hope, not just in general.
No,
wow.
I would never say that. I would never say that. Don't put that.
Am I trying to put words in your mouth? I don't know. I don't think so.
I would never insult Wales' fastest man.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I just got them to change the map because I thought we should probably have a different map on this battle.
That would be great. So Duck is ready. He's have his army. It's not too dissimilar from what we had last time, except for him he's taking a few less cav, and obviously he's gone for a few more lords in this one. So let's see how that's going to work out for him. We're just waiting for Mitch to start up now, and then we'll be away. So, Wheels, King Wheels.
Yo.
Who do you think is going to win this one, and why?
I'm going to go for Oscar on this one. I haven't actually seen his army because I've been up, like, getting them to change the map around. But I think the High Elves have some good anti-large options. They've also got a lot of range fire that they can get on those big targets. So I'm probably going to see that come through on this. But this is the day of the underdog by the sounds of it. We could see Mitch come out with just a build that he wasn't expecting. He might go for a very heavy infantry. The Lizardmen with those Temple Guard and stuff like that have some very, very heavy infantry they can bring to the battle. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. We've got the Silver Helms coming in as a shotgun on one side. We've got the Phoenix Guard, who just look absolutely amazing.
They're very cool. Very good anti-large.
In that center, he's got his White Knights. He also has another unit of archers, which he's been quite consistent on having. He also has the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. Easily one of the best look. I remember seeing these in a Games Workshop like 15 years ago. So, and I always thought they looked cool then, and they are very good in the game as well.
Mate,
he's taken two nobles who are going to be on mounts, along with Tywin as well. He's got his Phoenix Guard. Obviously, he's positioning up in the woods, and he's got his Reavers out there. Are they archer ones? Oh, they are.
Ah, gone for a bit of range cav. Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Lizardmen have a lot of skirmishers, so we'll see if they come out.
So obviously he's got a lot of spear units, and he also has some halberd infantry as well. So that's kind of a well-rounded army, I feel. So let's have a look. Oh, and out here he's also got another unit. Oh, no, it's the same one. He just moved it to the other flank. How dare you try and confuse me, Oscar? Yeah, Tywin Lannister, Tyrion. Yeah, sorry. Bad
Tyrion.
Tyrion, I know.
Tyrion.
I was watching a video on Game of Thrones yesterday, and it's just stuck in my head up here. So, obviously, let's have a look at what Mitch has taken. He's going to have some Saurus Warriors with shields in the center. He's gone for a Basildon with Solar Engine on the top. He has taken a Feral Carnosaur and a Feral Teglodon. Finally, he took some Skink Skirmishers. You know, these guys are so useful. I've been using them in my campaign.
They look so cute.
Temple Guards on the side, on either flank. And he has Mazamundi on his mount as well.
Absolute tank.
Yeah, and straight off the bat, there's going to be that skirmishing, and there's he does have one unit to kind of do something about that, which is his Skinks. But what you're going to have to be careful of, if they get too close, I think that Duck would just go for a charge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that's one of the great things about having melee and archery on those cav is that you can just go in against those archers who are not going to have anything to deal with you as well. And I don't think the range on those Skink Skirmishers is quite as good. They've got that 360 arc of fire, which means that they're not really going to be able to snipe people out from a distance, but they are pretty handy at just sort of popping up in those hard to reach places and just sort of, you know, running away whilst firing still as well. It's going to be interesting. We've also got a little solar engine fire coming in.
Yeah, trying to hit that Eagle Claw, but so far he's managed to just hit the same place twice. And that one guy, was that two? Two of them down.
Oh my goodness. So we're actually in Nagaron for this battle map here. The frosty realms of the Dark Elves, right in the northern tips of the world. And you can see those beautiful Dark Elf structures in the background as well. Those big sinister towers. Kind of look like a Mace of Molag ball sticking out of the earth.
Got a hit now.
So just trading blows with the artillery at the moment.
Pretty much. I think these kind of things favour a more experienced player, and that's kind of why Mitch is kind of happy to sit. Oscar is kind of happy to sit back. He's got kind of more range. He's kind of artillery. You know, he can do this. He can just pepper. You can see it's kind of forcing a box already from Mitch, which, you know, he doesn't really have to worry about too much. Obviously, you know, the Silver Helms here, you know, going to be very dangerous when they charge in, but he needs to make a decision what to do. And obviously being in the woods as well is going to give him a good advantage against, you know, some of the monstrous and mounted infantry. But it looks like this artillery fire is gauged a response, and it's going to be a wild charge here, and I think this is playing right into Oscar's hands. But that artillery is still doing some damage. right into the Phoenix Guard, which I think he should have been targeting straight from the bat.
Absolutely. And it's always nice to take out the other artillery, but those Phoenix Guard are going to be his biggest problem here, especially with those monstrous units. Oh, in comes a Carnosaur.
Almost. What magic spell is he putting down on him here? Oh, he's
There
put the
comes
nets down. Oh, this is bad news.
Oh, dear. That is bad news for that cab.
But this does mean the fight over here is kind of disjointed, which might favour a little bit of more action from the High Elves because they're actually closer. But that unit has just been shattered.
That's what happens when you got 4 units coming after you and you can't move, including a Carnosaur.
And there you go. That's going to be Temple Guard helping in that. And look at those Phoenix Guard and obviously the White Lions are chasing away the Feral Carnosaur. This fight is not going to go anywhere near where you would want for the Lizardmen, and especially with this kind of hero blob.
Yeah,
so these guys are in deep, deep trouble. They're going to get cut up quickly.
They're also frenzied, and this, once again, as we said in the previous battle, that's one thing that you've got to watch out for some of these Lizardmen units. They might be oh my goodness. They might be very, very strong, but they are going to get stuck in those combats if they get frenzied and you don't look after them. And we saw that Carnosaur go mental over there on the flank, which means he's not going to be coming in for a little while.
So I can see immediately what the strategy is for Oscar, and it is to just go for Mazamundi here. And that's what he's going to do.
Oh my goodness! Just look at the
well, this is hard to take a lot of infantry against Lizardman.
Wiping them out. I'm not sure the White Lions of Trace are the best choice for this combat. They're more anti-infantry as far as I'm aware. I think those Phoenix Guards
there are the
nets.
nets.
On the nets again.
So he's going to use that. I think he's going to try and get out of this combat,
yeah,
which would be advisable at this point.
Going bad for him morale-wise.
And there's some more Saurus warriors that are coming in. This is brilliant play by Mitch, by the way. He's doing a great job of tying down a lot of these High Elf units and being able to bring in his more powerful ones on top of it. This is going really, really well.
Lizardmen just look fantastic, don't they?
Obviously, the artillery is still firing over here. I think something's in combat with them, and it's some of the Saurus warriors. But those shots are still coming in. You can see the top view here. I think, what's that? The Feral Carnosaur's a bit far away from the action.
I'd say one thing that Mitch didn't really...
Tyrion there with the heroes are just doing damage to that Feral Ceglodon. Probably not too long for the Earth, but it's out of control, so it doesn't really matter for him.
One thing that Mitch really didn't do against me was take out that artillery, and that artillery is just going to keep firing on those monstrous units. Such big targets, so he should take that out as soon as he can. You can see those hits coming in. That
fire is constantly coming down on Mazamundi right now. You can see he's going to put some healing down on himself, which is also causing some fear. So as Phoenix Guard, you know, they're just not easy to break. So they're doing a good job holding in there. And that artillery is constantly firing as Mazamundi there.
A lot of people saying that Mazamundi is weak, even though it's like got the biggest health pool in the entire game.
Yeah, he's been murdering units, and he's been getting targeted by like heroes and lords quite a bit.
And spells.
And spells. So it looks like finally someone heard what I was talking about and thought maybe it would be a good idea to bring this guy back.
Well, the Carnosaur was in frenzy, so he was sort of going mental on the side. So that might be why he didn't get to bring him in as soon as he could.
Yeah, so you can see kind of the strategy of Oscar here to group up his nobles and Tyrion and use them in combat, and they're doing a great job of just focusing down individual units one at a time. And that's what he's kind of focusing on now. It's still with that artillery constantly firing archers over there. They're going to start running out of ammo though. But, oh, big spell! Massive spell!
Oh my goodness, that's a long, long, long fire line.
What spell is that? I actually am not sure.
That is one of Mazdamundi's, right?
Yeah, Ruination of Cities.
Ruination of Cities. Look at the dev with the knowledge. This is why we bring you in, Gary.
That is devastating. That literally just broke a loading. And Tyrion's running as well. He's terrified. Oh my god, this is not going well at all. Come on, you can't let me down on my picks. Come on. I was perfect up to this point. Is that all you're
concerned about?
That's all I care about at this point.
About himself.
Those magic, those spells have absolutely just broke the back of the High Elf army here. You can see he's trying to kind of just rally back here. This is the only way he can win right now. Is Mazamundi is out here alone, and he's getting surrounded by Tyrion and a noble. And I'm sure as soon as these other troops start rallying, he's going to bring them in as well. So this is the only way he can get back into the battle here.
If he can kill this Lord, though, these feral units have not got good leadership, so they could very well run away.
Also, you can see that he's brought in another monster.
Talking
there.
of running away, he's just given up. And that's it.
Bosh.
Wow.
It's a bad day for Duck.
Duck has been taken out as Mitch wins that one.
That was a Spells game.
That magic
won
did
that game.
so much damage.
Spells won that game. That net usage was on point.
Those nets were huge.
My goodness.
He really tied down a lot of his good troops, was able to focus down that cav really early on. And yeah, Mazamundi took and tanked so much in that battle.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting targeted straight from the beginning and almost to the end, and he still stayed alive.
Well, Mitch actually did a good job on the healing front as well. He had his cold-blooded, he had his revivification crystal, he had a lot of healing there, so he just soaked a lot of damage that Oscar was throwing at him.
Yeah, and that was really good play. He really just, Mitch really countered those charges really early on, and that cav just didn't get anything in. I mean, just the Silver Helm's literally 5 kills, so they just didn't get much done. Wow, what happened?
I
think
he's too
magic.
complacent. He's too complacent.
Mazamundi just got that magic down there, and he's got the platform to just be a really good, tank and damage dealer. He just able to keep that going, and that fear just kept working against the high elves over and over and over again. So, look at the grin on Mitch's face.
Finally won a game, Mitch.
Well, I'll pass it over to everyone on the sofa then. So for a little post-match debrief.
Ooh. Oscar, mate.
Yeah, that was rock bottom.
Let's bring it in. Bring it in. Squeeze up.
Come on, Oscar.
It's a small frame.
Yeah.
So what happened, Oscar? Come on, what's going on?
Just not finding the right armies, I think. I probably took a big gamble in not bringing magic this time. Probably could have used some healing on my Phoenix Guard. That sort of robbed me of a lot of staying power. Sort of hoping that my noble goon squad could take out like the big dinosaurs. And they were actually doing quite well, just getting stuck in like the big bug with the swords. And then I think Mitch nailed the ruination of cities on like, I managed to blob up like 3 white lions, I think, in the same space, and he just used the ruination of cities. And
that was definitely a turning point. And I think magic, actually, you say you didn't take any, that was genuinely the thing that flipped it in your favour, Mitch. Those nets that you were popping as well were completely vital.
So I think I used 3 spells really well. I used a net very well at one point, and I used the ruination of cities. I used that well twice. And then I think the other thing I did was kind of you had those, what are the really good spearmen that you have? The
Phoenix Guard?
Yeah, the Phoenix Guard, because I know just how good they are. They're so good. So I was really like focusing my micro and trying to get my my crocs, not my croxicles, my what are they called? Bastillodons, trying to get those like away from those guys, just because I needed those guys.
You just got yourself in the right engagements, and at that point, so many of the elite units have been tied down that it just gave you more freedom to move around. And especially when those big spells came in, it really helped out.
I felt like Oscar was like a bit static. Like it kind of allowed like me to have the initiative when I like attacked you. Like I picked the matchups that I wanted. Kind of I put like my sources against like your spearmen and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think like the fact that kind of he stayed there and tried to use the bolt thrower helped a lot.
There you have it. That was third place. There's only one thing left, Dogbert.
There's only one thing left. A final, which at least I called the final, so that's going to be all right.
Yeah, that's why I tried so hard, James, just to
mess with my picks.
Just to mess with you.
How dare you,
so
Magic Mitch.
The question is, Dogbert, who's going to take the crown?
Who's going to take the crown? I think we are going to have a... No, Gary's going to win.
Oh, that one was sore.
That
one hurt.
Well, it won't hurt as much as the upcoming game.
We'll see.
I think it's going to be a whitewash.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Look at me. He's the king now.
He's the king now. Not yet, mate. Not yet.
Uncrowned potential future king.
At least let me fight before he usurps me.
All right. Well, I think we should get into that game. So you guys... You go and get yourselves ready. Go get that game hosted, and I will be ready to get onto that one. So it is going to be the final of the CA Grudge Match 4, which will be on Warhammer 2. So as always, guys, don't forget that stats, costs, and stuff like that, subject to change. So remember that for the 28th. It might be slightly different to what you get then. Are we going to be doing co-op campaign Let's Plays? Who knows? We're going to be doing a lot in the near future. And I know there's plenty of guys out there who enjoy playing co-op as well. Obviously, in Warhammer 2, you can play as the same faction co-op. So you can play as the 2 separate legendary lords. Obviously, you might be in different starting locations and so forth. But that's part of the fun, isn't it? And obviously, head-to-head campaign. And one day soon, I will get Mitch in a room and play head-to-head campaign against them.
You'll get wrecked.
I wouldn't.
You'll get absolutely wrecked.
Just because you work on the campaign doesn't mean that you're going to be as good. Literally, you'll be blinded by the sheer skill that comes blazing out. From
Aren't you retired anyway, James? I thought you were a retired professional gamer, right?
Yeah, I know. And we also wasn't bad once. I think Oscar was, he played competitively as once as well. What did you ever do?
Don't know.
Well, he beat me. So
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but that is true. I'll take all that back. Obviously, we'll see how that goes a bit later on releases. See how they see you can get a bit better by then. You think you put the practice in?
Actually, the funny part is I did practice and I still lost.
I think you kind of wanted to give everyone a bit more of a chance in this one. I don't know.
It's good that you're trying to save my face, but no, that wasn't good.
It's all right. You've got time to redeem yourself. We'll be doing more multiplayer stuff in the future. And
well, I mean,
we'll see how
it's not about the winning. It's about giving good games.
Yeah.
And it's always good to see a favorite lose, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I always go for. I always try and make sure that the winners get knocked out early on. 'Cause it's hilarious. All right, guys. So it's going to be the Skaven taking on the Dark Elves. In chat, let me know who you think is going to win. Is it going to be the Dark Elves or is it going to be the Skaven? It's going to be the retaining champion of the grudge match, Whelan, and it is going to be Gary, who is the winner of Make War Not Love for CA, and also possibly the next future king.
Well, here's the thing, James. This is now turned into dev versus community. All right. There's a lot on the line here.
I know, but the community haven't even brought out their biggest gun, so I'm relegated to spectator.
All right.
Because
And Gary's been here before, right? He knows the pressure of these big kind of finals, like Make War Not Love. He's been there before. I think that's gonna help him out.
But he doesn't have his beloved greenskins. He does have his actual favourite race of all time, though, which is the Dark Elves, which he did very, very, very good job with in the last game. And with that in mind, if you're taking Dark Elves and you're going against Skaven, what are you kind of focusing on? What are you trying to deliver in that kind of battle, Oscar?
Well, one of the things you probably want to avoid is just being too spread out early on, because the Skaven will outnumber you in most cases. But what you sort of have going for you as the Dark Elves against Skaven is that your murderous prowess will trigger quite early, because Skaven just have so many men, or rats, or ratmen.
Ratmen, yeah.
So you can basically, if you build up that early momentum, you can really ride it.
I think we'll see a strategy from Gary similar to the one he used against you, Oscar.
Yeah.
Just a lot of good frontline infantry just coming in and triggering murderous prowess.
Well, let's take a look at Whelan's army. He's gone for a click head taker. Obviously, devastatingly powerful melee legendary lord.
Especially against lords, yeah.
Yeah, honestly. And he's taken an assassin, which is an interesting choice. I've used one in the battlefield. This is going to be very much like ambush. Try and take out one of those lords or legendary lords. He's got Plague Priest as well. A big caster. Most of his infantry, what has he gone? He's gone for Poison Wing Gobbardiers, 2 units of those. These guys, from my understanding, are more armor-piercing and anti-large.
The Death Globes are armor-piercing. The Poison Winds are just purely anti-large.
Yeah.
So think more of in terms of Norscan javelins.
Okay. And his frontline infantry, he's got a lot of clan rat spears. In the centre, he's got the plague monks, and he also that's frontline, 3 units of those, and clan rats make up his flanks. He also has a doom wheel. We have a doom wheel, everyone. Damn right, this is what you want to see.
Yeah, I think if Gary repeated the same sort of army, that Doom will
Just going to do work, yeah.
So that's his army. It's pretty good. Let's have a look at what we have over here for Gary. He's taken 3 units of Cold War Knights.
That's a weird choice in a way.
I think
That is weird against
it's one
Skaven.
too many.
Against Skaven, that's very weird, I think.
Yeah, but if you're expecting maybe to come up against like a a Hell Pit Abomination
Or Rat Ogres.
or Rat
I
Ogres.
think Whelan loves sending those around the sides, so that
So he's
could do.
taken in his center. He's got a unit of the Witch Elves, obviously very powerful damage dealers, and then he's mixed up his army. He's got a lot of Executioners, I think, and Corsairs. So that's 2 units of Executioners, 2 units of Corsairs. At the back there, he's got some Dread Spears, and I think that was the same unit of Witches over there. And not surprisingly, it's Malekith again. And he also has I think the thing that gave him a victory in his last game against you, Oscar, which is the Death Hag.
Yeah, the Death Hag is extremely powerful. And the Witch Elves are going to be really critical as well, because they've got that...
We also got Dark Riders right at the back there in Vanguard deployment. So I think this is kind of a surprise. This is a rush to the hill from both sides here. I think this is the one that Skaven are most definitely going to win.
Yeah, definitely.
This is dangerous for Gary to be right up here. I don't think there's a need for him to be here.
Could just be getting some early cycle charges in.
The problem is that the Cold War Knights actually have Rampage. So that...
Oh, so you could lose them here. You
Yeah.
could lose control of them here.
if they get bogged down in rampaging, he's basically wasted 3 units of cavalry.
Yeah.
Oh, he's kept control of them here.
Yeah,
That was a
cycle
good
charging.
charge. But he was into clan rats. I mean, is it really worth it?
Everything counts, but that was a high risk maneuver.
Especially considering, look, this unit here is going to get rushed down. Those Skaven are just swarming them right now. But this does break up the formation of wheels, and obviously, if you're a bit more experienced player, trying to get someone to spread their units out all the way, especially when you've got a lot more mobile units like the Cold One Riders, can play to your advantage.
Especially I've noticed with wheels with his micro, if you can like distract him and keep one of his units like not doing anything, he does tend to just leave it there for a while.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of units to micro. It can get a bit much sometimes, and that's why you try and always focus your lines into just getting them engaged and then focus on cavalry.
Especially
or
Skaven, because you tend to have more units than anyone else is Skaven.
So you can see this flank took a bit of a battering, but it's really only a unit clan rats and spears. I don't think that is a good trade,
No, it wasn't.
like at all. Like these guys are expensive and very powerful units.
I could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely. And then it's going to be he's pulling back. He's trying to like bait something, I think, here.
The problem is that he has to attack that hill because he doesn't have any ranged units.
I love the Doom Wheel. Just it catches you off guard all the time. You think it's going to fire one way and then it goes another. So at least this is something that the Gobadiers are going to be able to do quite well against, which is that Death Hag.
Yep.
Yeah, Wheels is very static here, so he's not getting any charge bonus at all. It's all Gary.
So big charges here. Rampage for the Witch Elves here. Cab charge straight into those clan rats, and that's made them disappear.
Yeah, Gary needs to get those around the back, I think. That would really help.
There's a lot of rampaging going on from all sides here. Those Plague Monks are out of control as well. And here come the Dark Riders
Yeah,
right
nice.
into the Globadiers. That's a brilliant charge.
That's good, yeah.
That's what they needed.
Murderous Prowess has gone off as well.
Super early on, yeah.
And a big spell as well coming down from Malekith. Into his own units though. This is looking terrible for the Skaven. They're getting routed left, right and centre. And that Murderous Prowess. So how much of a big boost does that Murderous Prowess give you in combat?
Basically, restores fatigue, gives you I think 25% more melee attack for 90 seconds or so. And then some other reload bonuses, charge bonus and other cool things. And morale as well, so it's sort of a second wind, but now he sort of got it so early that's more of a first wind.
I think this is a massacre. This is not going well. Those Executioners and Corsairs are just all over the place.
Yeah.
And Kalik Hete is in deep trouble as well. He's got Word of Pain down him. That's a big debuff as well. Oh man, I don't even know where the rest of his army's gone. He's just been shattered here.
Wow, yeah.
This is what happens if you let them get the Murderous Prowess off so early.
Yeah. I mean, they had everything there. Gary had the charge, he had the Murderous Prowess, he had better infantry, he had the cavalry charges. Pretty much had everything.
Bad day for a Klieg head taker. Where's that Doom Wheel? I think that might be the only thing he has up still. There we go. He does have his assassin. But I think this is pretty much it. You can see some rallies are coming in now for the Skaven, but they're too far away.
Yeah, and the cold ones will basically shut down the Doom Wheel.
Well, at least he's doing some damage with that. But yeah, as I was saying, the Cold One Riders, yeah, they're a brilliant unit to take out the Doom Wheel. So it's static right now. It's just being held down.
I think Queek is right in there.
Yeah, he's not long for this Earth.
It's going to be over then.
Wow. So it basically just went all Gary's way from, well, except for maybe a bit of a questionable charge at the beginning. Yeah. But did that not boost up his murderous prowess and get it closer?
That definitely helped with his murderous prowess. And it worked out for him, but he was quite close to, like, if it had gone a bit worse there, he could have rampaged and those units would have been tied up there and they'd been isolated and he would basically had to attack early to salvage anything from the situation. So he went for a high risk, high reward type of approach and it worked.
I would question taking the Poison Wing Gobadiers in that battle. I think maybe mixing it up, maybe taking either, I would have said more monstrous, but maybe just more infantry. I don't know. I mean that.
Well, Help It Abomination could have been a decent alternative instead.
Yeah.
That would have helped deal with the Blood Cauldron. But I think the man himself has better.
Yeah. So I just want to have a look at some of the kills here, just to put it out there. Those Cold Riders, you know, one of them managed to get 174 kills. And we also had the Death Agua 90 and Malekith at 72. And the Witch Elves doing over 100 in damage as well, along with one of the Executioners. Just a lot of units to cleave up there, and they did it very, very quickly. So wait for the new king to arrive. Sorry, there's no red carpet for this one, sir, but here it is.
Oh, there was a red carpet on the battlefield, he says.
So let's switch over to the sofa and take it away, Wheels.
Oh, God. That was the wrong build.
Yeah, I would think so. Like, you went from your previous game from less storm vermin to more flail guys, and I went from less cav to more cav. So it was just, yeah, it was fun. Like
I think the issue I had was, right, I was thinking about armor piercing, because looking at your previous build, you had all those executioners, stuff like that, which are just heavily armored. But you took so many damage dealing like infantry that coming up against those plague monks who were completely unarmored, they just got cleaved to pieces.
Yeah, I saw that there was like no storm vermin, so I felt quite free to kind of come in the early stages and just get some sort of charges on, you know, in the opening stages. Didn't go quite as well as I hoped it would, because they're quite slow, the cold ones, but they're very reliable, quite sturdy, so they sort of managed to get back out and still pose a threat throughout the battle. So yeah, I was quite happy with that build. I might try that when we release the game. Yeah, beware.
Beware.
I think had I gone against the exact army you took last time, it might have gone slightly differently. But yeah, I was just completely wrong thinking what your setup was. And the Dark Elves are pretty hard to go up against, especially when that murderous prowess kicked in.
Yes.
Oh my God, you just saw people go ham.
Yeah, basically, like for murderous prowess, when you're fighting the Dark Elves, you want to take out their Witch Elves and their like executioners. You don't want to bother about the chaff until that, you know, because when that procs, they're just going to be substantially better than they are at the moment. So yeah, it's fun when it procs as well, because you're just like, okay, now let's just go ham and kill people.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mike picks were all correct, except from the third place, but let's not talk about that at all, because that's not.
No, let's talk about that some more, actually.
No, let's not talk about that at all, Mitch. You stay quiet.
All right, sorry.
Well, we have a new king, so I think, as you know, tradition dictates, previous champion has to now crown the new champion.
Oh, my head's really big. It's not going to fit, is it?
Yeah. Mine's massive.
It's not got. Just hold it there.
Just hold this pose.
All right. Well,
you cannot move.
You now look like the French king from the Tudors.
Yeah.
Have you got any words?
This is going to fall off.
Have you got any words for your subjects?
Get good. Yeah, I don't know.
Damn. And as people were saying in chat, the community has fallen. So it's a dev team beating the community team. Obviously, you know, we'll have a rematch, and you know, the big gun will come in.
You keep saying that, James.
I keep saying that, Mitch. I
don't think it's going to happen.
I would have my way with you on the on the battle map. You might think you're good on the campaign, but when it comes to battle, it's all me.
Mitch,
No.
have you seen that pretty much every community civil war that we've done?
Yeah.
Dogbert has finished by going, and I'm in the next one.
Yeah.
And he
he's always
never
saying
appears. Just sits
Well,
on his desk.
I like this desk, okay? I'm
It's
kind of
safe over
tied
there,
here.
James.
I can't actually leave.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is where I sleep at night.
That's it. You know, as the new king, yeah, you're definitely in the next one. Then that's official, people.
You're a constitutional monarch. You're not actually got any power. You got to work out how it works here. All right then. I think everyone in chat, obviously, we are going to have a lot more footage for Warhammer 2 coming up in the coming weeks. So keep yourself up to date. So follow us on social media and keep a follow on our channel on Twitch, and you'll be seeing a lot more of the guys on the sofa. And obviously myself, as we're going to be doing a lot of campaign stuff and a lot of battle stuff, and eventually doing some free-for-all as well, which I'm most looking forward to. I'm sure I'll show everyone my skill in free-for-all. Oscar, how many times have we played free-for-all together?
I haven't actually counted.
I think it's been a few.
Yeah.
Who's won them?
I'm seeing a trend here.
yeah. I'm leading the conversation towards something. That's all right. And obviously we'll have a version of the Unclean One where you guys, if you can beat any of CA devs, will be able to get that achievement and spread it. So you'll be seeing that one coming up soon on multiplayer, and obviously more on the Total War official channel. Last words, guys. Anything you want to say to the people watching?
Don't copy my build.
It's copyrighted. It's all for the king. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us on this Total War Official. We'll be back soon. See you later. And remember, see you soon. See you soon. I messed up my outro. See you soon, and remember, see you soon.